All right. So I would like to welcome you all to this event. I'm really excited that we are moving forward again with a fantastic event of this series, conversation with the industry that at the Women Aerospace Europe we started in order to bring individual members, but also non-members actually interested in the aerospace sector, interested in developing their career and looking into what is actually happening out there, what is in the aerospace sector, what is in space technology, and especially what are women doing behind the scenes and also at the very front. So I'm excited to present today GMV, a Silver Corporate member, and three fantastic women who will tell about their work and about their experience. And at the end, you will all have a possibility to ask questions, but feel free already to put the questions in the chat if you happen to have them straight away. We will respond them, or the three presenters will respond to them at the end. And if we have time, we'll also be happy to have in-person questions if you don't feel like typing. We'll see. We'll hopefully have time for that as well. Thank you very much for joining us, Ines, Magdalena, and Amaya, and I'm passing it on to you, and enjoy the event. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So maybe I will share our presentations with you so you have a chance to look something. Okay, please let me know if you can see the presentation.
We can see?
Yes,
yes,
fine.
Okay, great. So maybe we will start with introducing ourselves. So my name is Magda and I am from GMV Talent Acquisition team working from our office in Poland. And in December, I'm going to celebrate my third anniversary in GMV. And today I'm going to tell you more about the possibilities of joining and developing in our company. Okay, so maybe Ines can present yourself.
Hi, I am Ines. I am a spacecraft operations engineer and flight director at GSOC. I have been in GMB already for 5 years now, I think, and I'm really willing to show some of my expertise in this presentation. I leave the word to Amaya, I think.
Hello, everybody. My name is Amaya Atencia. Thank you very much for your attendance. I've been working in GMB from 2007, and I would like to share with you my experience, my evolution in GMB during all these years, and also which are the main skills and the main aspects of my day-to-day work.
Great. So I think that we have a short video right now, so let's watch it. Sorry, it's the same. So I think we can go to Ines' history.
Okay, so as I said before, I have been working in GMV for 5 years, but this all started way before that. So when I was a kid, really when I was a kid, I started believing that I wanted to become an astronaut. And my parents, instead of saying, yeah, you will, they started encouraging me and like making sure that I could pursue my dream. And they are both lawyers, so they are not in the same field. But they encouraged me. And then in the end, I started to study aerospace engineering. I did my bachelor and my master's. And before finishing my master's, I joined GMV for the summer internship. I joined the flight dynamics department. It was a really exciting experience for 2 months where I was just working as a normal colleague. I would just learn about propagators, how things really work, orbits, and I was really fascinated. But after that, after my internship, I thought it was my time to try something else and try myself also. So I joined another company to do subsystems engineering. And this is a totally different thing from what I was doing before from the flight dynamics. But after a year working there, I thought, I'm missing the orbit part of the satellites. So I went back to EMV again, and I joined the Eutelsat's flight dynamics development team. But already in my interview for this job, I already said, yeah, I really like this, but my really, really dream job is to become an operations engineer, because I realized that the astronaut thing was very, very difficult. So I thought, okay, let's just do something else. So they told me, yeah, now we don't have any positions, and in Spain it's not so easy at the moment. It was not that easy, at least. So they told me, okay, we will write it down. So after a year, they wrote me like, Ines, there's a position in Germany in GMB. They offer a lot of internal mobility, and especially if you show the interest, it's great because it really have you in mind. And they really offered me my dream job, so it was really cool. So of course, I left everything behind in Spain and I moved to Germany, to Munich. And I started working as a system engineer in operations at the German Space Operations Center, which it's part of the DLR, the German Space Agency. And there I started working for LEO and GEO missions. Of any kind, so scientific, telecommunications, Earth observation. I was in any kind of thing. It was supporting any subsystem at that point. I am currently supporting any of those systems. For example, AOCS, thermal, TMTC, even some little ground stuff. And also payload, which is one of my main points right now, the optical payloads actually. And now at the beginning of this year, I was certified for my first mission as a flight director for a really interesting scientific mission. And this is kind of my whole trajectory. So if you wonder, what is space operations? Why did you wanted to do this? So basically, I watched a lot Apollo 13 movie when I was a kid, a lot. And then I really wanted to be like those guys. So I thought, okay, this is what I want to do. So what do we do in space operations? Basically, the easiest way to say it is we babysit satellites. We ensure that the satellites are healthy, and we ensure that the satellites do what they are supposed to do. This is our main task. How do we do that, or how do we ensure that? Of course, we need to check telemetry regularly, detect trends. We develop procedures to do actions on board. To do these procedures, of course, we need to work a lot of hours in the simulators and prepare ourselves, like just a test pilot, like the pilots when they do a lot of hours in simulators. We do the same. And we basically develop all the tools on ground necessary that are making our lives easier to monitor things. This is basically our main day-to-day thing. However, when you are in space ops, life is not as you plan. So you make your list in the morning, you think you're gonna do this and this and this task, but the satellites have other plans. And these are not your plans. And then you have to jump in and start solving issues, checking what's going on, making maneuvers if it's necessary. Maybe they can call you and say, hey, there's a collision warning. You have to come in at 3 a.m. and do your maneuver. So the life has other plans basically for you when you are in space ops. And it is really exciting because it's very different from a normal office work, I'd say. Of course, most of the time it can be office work, but I'd say that it has a lot of excitement every day. And I really love to wake up in the morning and not knowing what I'm going to encounter. So that is really, really exciting for me. Also, as a flight director, it is a bit of a higher, which is a bit above of the subsystem engineering. I'm also still doing that for a lot of missions. But the flight director basically is trying to make that everything works and everything is coming to a place together, that the customers are happy, that the operators are happy, that everybody around is making their work as it should. And when complicated decisions need to be taken, then you are in the end the last responsible. That is something that you need to learn with time. Of course, for example, now that I started in March, I was very insecure about my decisions. I was not sure what I was taking, but I feel that the more months I'm in, I just feel the decisions are easier to make, and then you just gain more confidence the more time you are in it. But of course, it's not the same when you start as when you have more years of experience. And in operations, you need confidence, and this is just done with time. And just one additional point. So in space ops, we also do what is called on-call. Basically, we are a team, and each week someone has to be 24/7 available by phone and to be able, as I said, to reach the office and do the important stuff if it's needed. And I think it is sometimes annoying, of course, because when you are having dinner with your friends, you don't like to be called. But on the other hand, it is so amazing to feel that what you do is so tangible and so helpful when you do it. And it's really avoiding problems. You can really solve issues that were not there. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I enjoy it because I hope to still do it for some more years. And yeah, this is basically my story. And I give the word, I think, to Amaya. Amaya will talk about the most important part of operations, which is the ground part, the ground segment, which without the ground, we will definitely do nothing above. So I give you the word, Amaya.
Thank you very much, Ines. And well, it's really great your enthusiasm on your activity. And our task is quite related with yours because we must do everything working very well so that you don't find any kind of big issues or problem during the operations. But not always happens, but we try to do as better as possible. So, well, I was just at the beginning of the beginning is when I was a child, teenager, and I was very interested in topics related with maths and science. And I didn't know I didn't know I had like a motivation, a vocation, like Ines saying, I want to be an astronaut from the beginning. But I remember that I had a book. There was a book on my house with different professions. And there were professions like doctor or lawyer or astronaut. And for each profession, it was explained which was the different skills and the knowledge that you had to do for becoming one of these. And for sure, with difference, for an astronaut was the most demanding and challenging one because you had to have a lot of different skills. But it is true that I realized that many of them were of my interest. So I was quite aligned with the different knowledge and the skills you had to develop in your life. But not only these scientific or math topics, I was also very interested in literature and also writing, like small poems and these kind of things. So I still enjoy of literature. So, but it is the scientific part what it was the line of my study. So I went to the university when I get my Master of Science in math, and with a specialization in astronomy and geodesy. And very linked with this, and once I finished with my studies with this Master of Science, I was very interested in getting more knowledge about geodesy. So I started with my doctoral courses in the university in parallel with my first job that was in IBM and was had nothing to do with my my studies in maths, but it was a quite different topic. But it is true that a kind of activity or a kind of a study that has to do with math makes you prepare to develop an abstract capacity of thinking, and also makes you prepare to get through problems or to analyze situation. It provides to you a very analytical capacity, and I think that this kind of studies like math is valid for any technical activity or organizational activity that you have to do, because you are ready to solve problems. And so I was working in different sectors related with technology, with mobile technology or information security. And I really learned a lot, not only in the disciplines of these technologies, but also in different skills related with team working, facing challenges because of facing situations that were new. So how to prepare to solve the situation, organizational skills, project management, and negotiation. So I was acquiring a lot of these skills in different sectors with international teams. I had the opportunity to travel and to work in different locations in Europe, and it was a very good experience to me, because I had the opportunity to work with people from different cultures, and this for sure enriched to point of view about life. So in April 2007, I started working in GMV. I have to say that when I was at the university, I was thinking of working in GMV from the university. So I was very happy when it finally happened some years later. And I had here some colleagues from the university, and I had an knowledge about the type of work they were doing, and it was very exciting for me, quite related with my studies in the university. So everything was very exciting and very promising. I started working in the department of satellite navigation systems, where I worked for some years in the development of Galileo missions, of which GMB had an important part on the development of the main subsystem for the signal and space production and the accuracy solution. So it's a very big activity within GMV. And I had the opportunity to face and to work in a very, very big team, facing the development of a very complex system and very demanding in terms of performances, in terms of reliability from the beginning. And I went through the different steps of the development of a system of such complexity and for a client like ESA, with all the different milestones, with the different standards, with the formality. So I worked with not only technical teams, but also with quality people and also with configuration management people. So it was very complete, my participation and my learning in this activity. After some years, I had the responsibility because of running the reliability, availability, maintainability, and safety section, so-called the RAMS section. That it is in a topic in the a discipline within the engineering aspects of the development of systems, and it's very related with demanding systems, like for instance the safety critical systems that must behave in a way that it is absolutely controlled, and in a way where all the possible failures or unknown behaviors are for sure eliminated as much as possible and were under control. And this is a fascinating activity, a fascinating topic within the system engineering, because it provides to you an overall vision of the systems. So the knowledge that and the understanding that it's necessary to have covers the system end to end, from the beginning to the end, and from top to down. So it is necessary to understand the system from a very high level, to understand what the user is expecting, which is the use that is going to have over this system, but also it is necessary to understand in which way the different elements, the subsystem, the hardware, all the elements that are part of the system are going to contribute to the final behavior of it. After some years of working there, because I'm very curious on learning new things and facing challenge, I moved to a different aspect of the space systems that has to do with the Earth observation. Earth observation mission, mainly satellite Earth observation missions, that it is a fascinating work that provides very valuable and vital information for understanding the Earth, and also has a complexity in terms of payload, different instruments that are used them. And there is also a lot of science behind this, because we normally work in missions that involve, of course, the engineering part, but also the scientific part. Just to give you an example, anything you can think of something to be monitored from in the Earth could be possibly be observed from space. And it requires of many technological advance in terms of satellite, platforms, payload, ground segment, science for discover all these characteristics on Earth. So it's a complex and fascinating work. When I start working this Earth observation domain, my first activity was as a business developer. That it is one of the things that I really enjoy a lot, because I really enjoy of be directly in contact with the clients, with the final user, to figure out which are the needs and that of the different solution that they are requesting. And also, I really enjoy of working with the technical team and all the colleagues in order to provide a solution that it is suitable for what it is requesting. I like also this activity because you are involved in many different workshops, you travel, you have the opportunity to meet and know different people in different domains, and it is very, very exciting. But on the other hand, it is very demanding because, again, you have to learn a lot about many different systems, many different missions, and all the elements that are part of these missions. So, and this is my last step. I am currently the division head of the mission data system, that it is a part of the ground segment that has to do with the ingestion, transformation, dissemination of all this data that it is sensed and observed from the satellites, from these Earth observation satellites. And in my role, I am responsible of a team. I have to perform management activities, manage people, manage budget, manage activities, and is another aspect that you have to develop to think about a strategy, to think about people needs, and with the main objective of being successful and make the division growth, and the people that work with me, with my colleagues, to make them grow as well. So that's all from my side.
Okay, Amaya, Ines, thank you very much for interesting stories. And in GMV, we have more than 3,000 employees with also interesting stories who are working in our different locations in 11 countries, as for example, Germany, France, and Poland, where I am. So here you have a map to see all our branches and projects. And also, as Amaya and Ines said, we have a lot of interesting areas of working and projects. And currently in GMV, we have more than 200 open vacancies in all our branches. And generally, we have two ways to access GMV, which I would like to introduce to you right now. The first one is for people who recently graduated or have already some professional experience in the space sector. So in this case, we offer permanent contract with full package of social benefits. But if you are still studying your master's degree or final years, we offer you an internship. You can join us as an intern, and during internship in GMV, you have a chance to learn from our professionals and develop your knowledge. You will be able to learn and collaborate in international teams in very innovative projects. Also, during the time of internship, we give you a total flexibility, so you can combine your studies with the internship, because we know that graduation is the most important thing for students at that point. And of course, after completing the internship, if you are interested and if your performance is as expected, you have chance to continue your career with us as an employee with permanent contract. And now I would like to tell you what we can and what we do offer to our employees. GMV stands for work-life balance. So we have hybrid working model with 8 weeks per year of teleworking. Also, we have flexible start and finish times and intensive working hours on Fridays and summer, so you can enjoy your free time. And additionally, you will have some brand discounts, lunch cards, or gift cards. But we also know that professional development is very important for our employees. So we all have our personalized career plan. And during our annual evaluation, we have a chance to discuss our successes, area to improvement, or goals for next year. We also offer training and language learning support. So, for example, we have a chance to improve our skills in languages which are useful in our daily work. And for these employees who want to boost their career in another country, like for example, Ines in Germany, we offer a relocation package. And the last but not the least, of course, GMV cares about well-being of its employees. So we offer medical, dental, and accident insurance to all of our employees. We also organize some trainings in area of physical, mental, and financial health. And also we have free fruits in every office. So as you can see, we have a lot of benefits, and it's still growing. And additionally, we have some team events, like for example, some cooking contests in some office, so we can also more get familiar with our colleagues in the teams. So I think that if you are interested in our activities, projects, and maybe you would like to be up to date with our open vacancies, you can follow us on our social media, like for example, LinkedIn or Instagram. And also, if you have any questions or doubts after this meeting, you can write us to careers@gmv.com, so we will answer you. But also, I encourage you to check our website, our open vacancies, and send your CV to anything which seems to be interesting for you. So I think that's all, and we are waiting for you in GMV, and I hope that we will meet in GMV. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you very much for the presentation. If I was in the field, I think I will be applying by now already. If I was not in communications, well, I hope we'll have a couple of questions here. We already have some in the chat, and actually one of them I also had while listening to you from Gabriele, who says, "What about professionals who want to get experience in the sector?" So I assume also senior professionals, not just the ones who come from the universities, and which is close to the question that I had. So coming from a different sector or slightly different field of expertise, how difficult is it actually to enter the sector, or to look into the opportunities that are currently advertised?
The question is for someone in particular, or
for three of you? I don't know who feels okay,
maybe, I can answer, well, or maybe Magdalena, but from my point of view, I can give you my perspective from of the kind of professionals that we are looking for. In GMV, we have many different technical backgrounds. So we have Ines, that it is aerospace engineer, but I am mathematician. We have also other engineers. We have physicians also. There is different type of technical profiles, and there are many different activities that requires this type of profiles. There are other that may be more specific, because they are more related with finding a very specific solution for something related, for instance, with payload or knowledge of instruments or whatever. So it's because of the background. For a mathematician, we need to cover a profile that is more expert in electronics, I am not going to fit. This is clear, but we have many different different engineers and technical background. And what we really want is people that has curiosity, is keen to learn, is generous to work in a team. So, and it has the energy to grow, to have imagination, to have motivation, commitment. So we need people that has this technical background, but also, and very important, that it is very well motivated to work in this type of activity, and this is very important. So I really encourage professionals with a technical background to look for vacancies, because there is room, and there are activities.
So to come back to Gabriela's question as well, are there possibilities? So for example, internships for more senior professionals as well?
Yes, maybe Magdalena want to because he's responsible of that. But just to clarify that in our division we have this type of activities, and we offer.
Yes, if I'm sorry, but I can't see the question. So could you please, Xenia, repeat the question, so I will be more than happy to answer.
The question was, what about professionals who want to get experience in the sector? And I remember that was asked after you presented the possibilities for graduates.
Yes, of course. We have also these internships, for example, Global Talent Internship Programs. So we offer, for example, summer internships. So for someone who wants to get the experience in the sector, they are more than happy. We are more than happy to welcome them in GMV. But also, as Amaya mentioned before, if someone already graduated but doesn't have experience in space sector, we also open for people who have technical background and are interested in developing this area.
Fantastic. So we have a question actually directly also to Ines. How is it to relocate fresh out of college? By Christine Anderson.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So basically, I worked 1 year in Madrid. So I didn't relocate. My first year was in Madrid, where I was studied. So I was really familiar with the city. But when I relocated to Munich, it was 3 months before COVID started. So it was not the perfect time to do a relocation. Let's put it this way. However, when you move with GMV gives you a lot of help with moving. They give you some, as Magdalena said, some relocation packages. They follow up how you are there. And my bosses here in Munich, they were really nice, and they were always helping me out, even driving me to IKEA and things like that, because it was I didn't have a car, or I didn't know anybody in the city. So it was such an experience. But I really recommend to move out of your comfort zone soon, before things get more complicated. And for me, it was just a decision. Okay, my life is not perfect here, but I think if I do the movement now, then if I don't do it, I will regret it. So I just left, as I said, left everything behind. But I think it's a great experience. I met really nice people here. I learned how to work with a different mindset. The mindset from the Germans is not the same as the Spanish, and it's not better or worse, it's just different. And if you learn what the needs are of any of the parts, you learn how to understand people better. And for me, at the beginning, I thought everything was going to be like in Spain, and definitely obviously was not going to be like in Spain. So I learned with time to know what they wanted. So it's a process, of course, but I really would recommend to do it, not before a pandemic, but I would definitely recommend it to do a relocation fast.
I was just to add also to this question, actually, I was wondering, what would you say to someone maybe again somewhat senior that that might motivate them to relocate? Because we all know that, as you say, at a younger age it's easier, you're less you're less committed to particular things, but it's probably also more difficult to relocate at at a higher age. but it's probably also has its benefits, doesn't it?
Yeah, we know a lot of people who relocated later. And to be honest, at some point of my life, I will come back to Spain and I will relocate again my life. I will again have to leave here my friends behind, probably make or recover my friends from Spain again. But it is possible. But of course, I guess when you've done it once, it's easier to do it twice. And you know what you're going to encounter, and it's easier. But I think if you have the right people around you and the right some good friends that can lead you the way. And for example, myself, when during the pandemic I was here on my own, I hardly knew anybody, but people like helped me, like show me the way, and it was really nice. And in the end, of course, it's difficult when you have kids, when you have other commitments, it's more difficult. But on the other hand, it's possible. I know a friend of mine went to Aztec and he left, like he was traveling every Friday back to Spain because his family was there and his kids were there. So it's everything is possible if you want to do it. And my feeling is that going abroad is such a great experience and it's really great. I mean, I'm really grateful that GMV just said, okay, you can just do it if you want it. I was like, oh, then let's go. And if I want to come back, you can just go back to where you were. If you don't feel your comfort and you think, okay, I've tried it, but I don't want it anymore, they offer the possibility to come back, which is always a great, great thing and really a comfort thing to say. So I think even if you're like not in this young age where you think, okay, I can do whatever I want, I think you should also, if you find something that really motivates you, just go ahead and take it. And there will be hundreds of solutions. And maybe you have bilingual kids, which is also great. And I think all my friends are really, really happy who did it. So yeah.
Great. There's some very interesting comment actually here. We have that talks about the mismatch that there is about regarding the professional experience and the education that some people have. So I read it out to you, but so there's a full generation of professionals who have 20 years experience in their field. There's always a requirement for master, formal higher uni education. There doesn't seem to have any validation for professional skills. So apparently there might be a whole lot of people who are actually already working in that sector but have difficulties during the application process because they do not have a valid master program that would already exclude them very early on in the application process. And that connects to another question, how the recruitment process actually looked like, especially for people that already have technical experience in the sector for that, but also maybe don't have the fitting master.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so about experience in education, as much as we value someone's experience, and it's very interesting for us, sometimes our clients or projects demands to have education. It is mandatory. So as much as we would like to incorporate this person in our teams, it's sometimes impossible for us because of this requirements. And about the recruitment process, how does it look like? So if someone sends us his or her CV and it fits to our requirements, our profile, one of my colleagues from talent acquisition team will call to this person to make a quick phone screening, to ask some initial questions to get to know this person better. And after that, we schedule a longer meeting, usually online meeting, with our technical managers, so we are able to know more about experience, knowledge of this candidate, and the candidate has a chance to ask us questions about the technologies, teams, or a project he or she is going to join. And after that, we are making decision. We are presenting the offer to the candidate, and if the candidate accepts the offer, then it's time to join GMV and we go through onboarding process.
Fantastic. So is there actually, I don't know whether it's something you share, but is there some pre-screening that is done automatically sometimes to CVs that might exclude those people very early on? Will they still have a chance in their application process and should be applying?
I mean, always someone from talent acquisition team is reviewing all the CVs, so we don't reject CVs automatically. So we always check all of them.
Great, fantastic. Let's do further. Someone is asking if many years of experience, if I have many years of experience in different fields like aviation, it would be possible to apply for a position in the space field. How easy or difficult would it be? Well, I think that's something that Maya already referred to early on.
Yes, exactly. It is possible. Sometimes for us, it's more important from candidates to have, for example, experience in some specific technology or programming language than knowledge of sector. So this kind of people are also more than welcome in our recruitment processes.
So how difficult, there are also other questions regarding regarding visa and regarding coming from different areas, not from Europe. Is there support with visa application and moving from India, for example?
Okay. Yes, we are open for people from different countries, and as we mentioned before, we have a location package for candidates from other countries. Usually, there is no problem, as I know, for candidates from India, but sometimes, for example, our projects requires to have candidates with, for example, European Union citizenship. So this is maybe the only one difficulty in the project.
Right. There's a question particularly about how often are there job openings in the Netherlands and what kind of jobs are there, but I'd extend this question also to say how is there a possibility to share CV and interest or maybe in response to particular roles, indicating a particular preference so you keep people in mind for future possibilities they open up at you know, at certain geographic locations, for example.
Yes, if we don't call the candidate for the recruitment process, he or she applied, she or he can also always send CV through email, which was on the presentation, career@gmv.com, and write us what is interesting for him or she, which country she would like to work in, and then we will keep in mind.
Right. There's also a question quite relevant to, I think, the Women Aerospace Europe members and community. What is the percentage of female space professionals at GMV? Do you have a number there?
I don't know, Amaya, Ines, maybe do you remember these numbers?
It's less than 30%. It is quite aligned with these STEAM careers that is around this percentage. So we are aligned with this percentage. In my opinion, is low.
But as I remember from our presentation at the beginning of this year, it's still growing. So
yeah, it's nothing. Well, I have to clarify that it is nothing related with GMV. I think it's the general. I remarked the idea that we are aligned with the percentage of women that are involved in STEAM activities. So I think because GMV is equal opportunity company, and this is for sure put in practice. So what we need is more women candidates. So this is what we need: professionals that are women. They are very welcome.
Indeed, and looking at the sector, I'm sorry, Ines, just looking at the sector, I can confirm that these are the numbers that unfortunately we do have. Ines, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in to say that although it really aligns, it's also most of my colleagues from university, they are no longer doing like engineering activities or STEM related activities, although they studied engineering. So also on that process of finishing university, starting a job, and then maybe they drop again to something that it's not related to STEM because they really enjoy other things now. So it's also why it's lower than it should. It is like this.
Well, just to add to this topic as well, so what would you say to women who are entering or who consider either come from the university and are graduates or already work in other sectors, but are wary or but careful and cautious about this sector specifically because it's known to be a boys' club. So maybe from your personal experience, you might also encourage them in a different way.
Yeah. So the first advice I also give it to a friend of mine not so long ago. She told me, yeah, I don't fit to the whole position, so I'm not going to apply. Like, no. Apply. You like the position, they ask for something, apply. You never know what's gonna happen. So maybe you're very passionate, you want to do it, you show that you really can do it. So it doesn't matter if you don't have C++, Java, and Python experience, although it's written there. And we women tend to be more cautious when we apply than men are. So that's also why I was also doing that. Like, oh, I don't check on my checklist, I don't have 100%. Like, it's okay. Just if you like the position and you think it's going to motivate you, they're gonna feel it in the interview. So you're halfway through, and then the rest is, of course, sometimes very needed. But you never know. Maybe the other candidates also don't have it, and they applied. So this is my first advice and the one I always give.
Yeah, I'm absolutely agree with you, Ines. This is if you feel that this is a work a work for you, and you feel like doing this and you like it, go for it. Impossible is nothing. Don't dare to do it. So it is true that is sometimes like women we need to that we have to fit 100% with the requirements, because otherwise you are not going to be capable of doing things. This is not the case. You can learn, you can improve. You have to be motivated, and if you like it, go for it. Don't be scared. That's
Yeah, exactly. Don't be afraid, because believe me, it's really difficult to find 100% perfect ideal candidate. So if you don't fit the position 100%, send your CV.
And I think that's a great response actually to quite a few very detailed questions that we get now in the chat, very detailed in particular. And I will not read them right now. I will definitely make sure that we answer them all in a follow-up email. If you have registered for this, you will receive this as well. But just to all those questions that are so detailed, I think that was exactly the answer. If you're thinking about how a possible remote work could look like, or whether your citizenship is okay or not okay, I think that is your answer basically, to apply, and then you will be in touch with the candidates if the candidate fits, right?
Yeah, and maybe if you send your CV for one recruitment process and you will not be chosen for this position, maybe we will have something else for you. So good, it's good, always good to try.
And I know from experience it happened to friends of mine, so it happens. So it's really true that even if you're not chosen for the position, then you get a call some months later and you have been chosen for another one. So it is possible for sure.
So is there, maybe asking the chat now and the attendance, is there another question that is burning, or a question that you've posted in the chat you really would like to have the answer to now? As said, we will definitely make sure that all answers you will receive your answer at least in follow-up email. Is there anything else? No, I think that's pretty much what everyone wanted to know. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. That's great. So is there anything else on your side that you maybe would like to close with? other what has already been said, but I think that was already very inspirational and a great thing to stop with. Just be courageous and apply, because this is what we need. We receive now very many thank yous, which you cannot see, but I'm passing them on to you from the participants.
Thank you, everybody, for the attendance. It was great. It's
Yeah.
very.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. All right, then we will close the meeting, and thank you all for participating. And please look out for more events like this, and definitely get in touch with GMV, have a look at the website, and see for yourself what is possible. There's always a possibility to reach out to these fantastic ladies also through LinkedIn if you have more questions. And subscribe to our news so you get more insights like this. Thank you very much.